Salutations, everybody. It is Matty here today, and I know I am late to the party. If you think my reaction here is delayed, it's because it is. Ladies and gentlemen, I've talked a ton about my interest in Xbox game streaming, and this past week, Xbox unlocked it to all Xbox Game Pass Ultimate members. So if you're signed up for the service, you can try this out. And not only that, they upgraded their server blades to Xbox Series X hardware, which enables 1080p, 60 FPS streaming. Now, I've made it no secret of my excitement for this because I'm always here in the studio space. I'm grinding content, doing podcasts, coming up with ideas for y'all, and I love what I do. But sometimes I have that little space and time while I'm here for my allotted time slots. And I thought to myself, hey, what if I could fire up a game that I'm currently playing, load my save through the cloud, see what that's all about? And this was my conduit to that goal. So I tried it out on my tablet, my phone, as well as my PC, both at home where my internet is not great at all. And then here at the studio space where we have Fios, where I pay for the best internet I can possibly afford because, of course, given my profession, I need that. So I'm going to go into my whole experience with this and just give you all my thoughts. And I'm looking forward to hearing yours in the comments down below if you've tried this out. But now, let's get into it. So this right here, this is my best friend, this inanimate object right here. This is my iPad. I have this thing with me constantly. I'm writing our game on it. I write all my content here. I do all the Defining Duke and Ham Radio work on this. I do pretty much anything work related. I look at files on here that I use for screenshots and videos. Like, I have everything here. This is the key to my content. I don't know how I lived so long without it. And what I was excited to do is add a controller to that and say, hey, this is also my game machine when I'm here at the studio space. So I wanted to get into the tablet experience right away because I think this is most ideal. I don't know if y'all are like me. I prefer to keep my phone kind of a communication device, just that, no gaming on it. I don't want to have attachments on it turning into a game system. I thought it'd be most ideal for a tablet for everybody. So let's start there. That was not the best. It was really laggy, both at home as well as here in the studio space where the internet is much stronger. And I was frankly disappointed by this, not only because my hopes were high, but really because I just wanted something that was functioning, and I didn't really get that. Granted, game streaming is currently in beta, so there's room for improvement, but as it stands now with what I'm going to say is top tier internet on my tablet, which was near the router, I didn't need Wi-Fi extenders or anything, this did not run well, and in fact, it was so laggy that if you check on the audio side of things, you can listen to this clip here from MLB The Show. And yes, as you hear there, it is not good. So not only does it barely run, and I couldn't catch up to a single pitch to save my life, but also you can't listen to it. So my experience with the tablet was one of those novelty, oh, when it works, this will be great. But I didn't want that, right? I didn't want that, especially my hopes were high with the type of internet I'm lucky to have. So I moved on begrudgingly to my phone with my expectations even lower. Like, if it's not going to work on my tablet, surely my phone is going to be in a worse scenario. Quite the opposite. This is where things start to get more uplifting, and we'll focus on the positives. I also wanted to try it out on my phone to test touch controls, which we'll touch on in a sec. Pardon the pun. Anyway, I tried out Xenocrisis, and I was impressed. It sounded great. It ran well. There were really no issues. I also fired up the very underrated, and you must play it if you have not yet, Octopath Traveler. And I feel like these types of games are going to be what thrive through Xbox game streaming, where I tried MLB The Show, I tried Dark Alliance, just seeing, hey, how do these recent Game Pass editions work on the cloud? And they demand more reaction times, where something like Xenocrisis, you can sort of glide around, and something along the lines of Octopath Traveler, turn-based RPG, you're going to be fine if your reaction is delayed or if there's a little bit of lag. It's not going to stop you from accomplishing anything. But on the touch control side of things, I believe Xbox said they have 50 plus games with touch control support. This is one of those scenarios where this is not your ideal way to play the game. And I don't think game streaming is designed to replace the way you play games, but it's more so a, hey, you're at work. If your internet's good at work, You can play your games. You can pick up your saves from the cloud, something that I was able to do. Like saves I started on my Series X were then tossed to the cloud, and then I opened it on my phone months later, and I was playing right from where I left off. That was nothing short to me of mind-boggling, because if it's working like that now, I can only imagine when things stabilize and get better where we'll be at. But as for touch controls, less than ideal, not the preferred way to play. And for certain games, once again, the two I mentioned, Xenocrisis and Octopath, you could really get by with them. But there are other experiences that I don't think are going to feel that great. I tried Banjo-Tooie at home, and that overall ran well. And by the way, once again, on the home internet. But for me personally, I would not really... It would have been a way to test it out. And I think that's where game streaming is going to find its legs here. You may be wondering, well, what's the point of all of this? And that leads me to the PC. The real main final part of the conversation is, while these games are all playable, you really can get a feel for things. And so what I thought to myself was, hey, if I could test this on my phone, see if I like this for 30 minutes to an hour, if I'm able to stream it, or test it on my PC, then maybe I can make a decision with something like Starfield next year. If you're an Xbox One owner, you could try it out by streaming it to your Xbox One going, this isn't ideal. It lags every now and then, but I like what I see here. And you've now laid your hands on the game, and then you can go and buy it when you have that console, or you can buy it on PC, whichever way you want to play. I think that's sort of one of the underlying keys to this whole system, is it's not designed to replace everything, but it's also the ease of accessibility. So you don't got to download anything. You've already seen it in the footage here. You click play after going to xbox.com/play, and boom, you are in the game in less than 10 seconds. That was a really awesome feeling, because this will carry into the Series X and S, where you can just demo things pretty much. You can try out, say, Dragon Quest XI, stream it, see if you like it for an hour. Hey, this is good, and download it. You don't got to commit the 50 gigabytes or whatever amount of storage space and download time, or leave it on overnight, whatever it is. You can just try it out. But to me, my favorite part of all this was when I went to PC, and you can see some of the latency tests I did here. Very minimal. Now, my PC is wired. Once again, we have Fios internet here in the studio space, so I'm running with probably one of the best setups that you can have to stream games. But as you can tell, I'm playing Fable 2 on PC. I'm playing Gears of War 2 on PC. That is what was amazing. Being able to access games on other consoles without a price change and no need for ports, all there through the cloud, and there was minimal latency. My aim in Gears of War, you've probably already seen it, less than desirable. You probably don't want me on your competitive team. I was still adjusting, but as I adjusted, I got comfortable. You start to predict the lag a little bit when that latency is shortened. But to me, this was the grab. This was the whoa moment beyond my phone being the best portable place to play, was saying, wow, I can play these games that are currently not available on Steam or whatever here on the PC. Of course, Gears of War does not have the benefit that Master Chief Collection has of being on Steam, being everywhere, being upgraded on Xbox. Gears is just sitting there in the back compat library, and I would love to see them give it the same collection treatment that Master Chief has received. But as of this point in time, if you are someone who wants to play, say, Gears of War with a buddy, co-op campaign, I played through all 5 of them this year alongside Tactics with a friend, and it was an absolute blast. You can do that now despite your console. That is super alluring for the service, especially since it's baked into Game Pass and it's not asking you for an additional fee. That's the other cool part, is we're seeing stuff like Skyward Sword, here $60 game for motion controls and a $25 amiibo for fast travel. That stuff pisses me off more now than it ever has, because you see what Xbox is doing to sort of move forward compatibility and ease of access of games and diminish the idea of general HD remasters and remakes, which, by the way, I still support. I still like the occasional remake and remaster. But with FPS boost and now this, it just becomes less and less appealing, because it's like, well, now I can access the games anywhere. I don't really have to worry about this type of stuff. That is great to me. And when I start to see Skyward Swords popping up, and many more will come in the future, it's annoying. So I love where they're heading with this. I enjoyed overall my experience. I was really bummed out by the tablet, but the setup was easy. That's the other thing. I continue to work on my tech game, but I was able to set this up in minutes. You literally take your Xbox controller, you Bluetooth it to your tablet, you Bluetooth it to your phone or your computer, or you can connect it via wire, and boom, you're set up. Then it's immediately connected. I will say I encountered a couple of bugs. I think they were bugs. When I initially connected my controller to my tablet, it did not work, and that was a common thing. It happened twice. When I connected my controller to my computer via a wire, it also didn't work right away until I connected it via Bluetooth, and then it did work. So I don't know if there's something with compatibility there with just all wireless stuff, but that was something that I noticed immediately. Otherwise, I walked away pretty impressed with the whole process. It was easy. It was cool. It seemed practical. It didn't seem like a dream. And once again, the fact that my friggin' phone worked and not my tablet is amazing, yet somewhat disappointing. But with this being in beta, with the servers just being upgraded, and not only that, but I imagine more people than ever trying this service out, I do think there is a reason why the lag was there a little more heavier, even when my internet was good and things were set up right where it should have been working properly. I imagine these are kinks that are going to get worked out. But I have to say, hats off to the team at Xbox. They have done some real phenomenal work here. It's mind-boggling to see. And it was one of those cool moments, just a little side story here, where I actually walked out into my living room to my parents and I said, I'm going to show you the coolest thing you've probably seen all week. And I just take these games out and show them to them on the tablet, and they're like, it's not downloaded on here. It's you know, I'm telling them it's running natively. Obviously using less terminology like that and more just simplifying it. But I'm telling them how it's just running through the cloud. You don't need the console. It's just downloading through the internet is how I defined it to them. And they were just mind blown. And so I think of course, the next generation of gamers, and while physical media better stay around, I'll be pissed if it doesn't. I still think of how crazy it would be as a kid where I didn't really have many games and I'd replay all these different RPGs I bought, that you can spend $15 and get all of this per month. All of it. Just really incredible work. And I'm excited to see how it develops. But this did not to me strike me as I'm going to try this and move on. I can see myself, until they fix the tablet stuff, I can see myself firing up my phone just by saying, hey, let's play some Xenocrisis, and giving that a whirl. So really impressed by what they've accomplished here. Just wanted to share my general thoughts. And once again, I do apologize if this sounds late or delayed. It was just a experience I wanted to share, of course, and give you all my opinion. More than anything, I was just like kind of mind blown, you know, just to actually see it happening in front of you, and being able to fire up these 360 games on your PC. I mean, it's cool, man. It's so cool. So I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Have you experienced Xbox game streaming? Let me know in the comments down below. Other than that, be sure to follow me on Twitter, follow me on Instagram. Those links are in the description down below. And a big thank you to all the patrons, all the members who continue to support crazy content like this. Stay sexy, stay active. I love you all. Peace.